for today, I did want to go over really quickly to end up today's video on the things that I wrote down, the ideas I had about helping somebody stay on track. So these are the things I'm going to work on. And if I think of more ideas, I will write them down. So number one is weigh daily. I've really never weighed every single day. I usually weigh once a week, sometimes once a month. So I'm going to weigh here, and then I'm also going to weigh at the office. So I have used Cronometer, and I will put a link to Cronometer in our blog post. But this is to track what you eat every day. So it gives you an idea of what your nutrition status is, if you're getting all the healthy fats, how much protein you're getting. So it does take time. So that's the issue I've found with Cronometer. It's hard to get everything in the mornings. So I'm hoping I'll just add it to my daily regimen and just do yesterday's food in the mornings when I do my journaling. So, and I'll be doing daily blogs and vlogs and post these to help me remain accountable to all of you guys. And I'll be tracking my exercise. My watch tracks some, and also I can track, just quickly, I'll write down in my health journal about the Simple 6 that I do, and I'll be showing you a video on that, and eccentrics. So Dulce and I are doing eccentrics together, and sometimes I do eccentrics here by myself on the weekends. So I'm going to try to make sure either I farm, do some work in the garden. I can't do everything every day, but I'll do at least one thing, Simple 6, eccentrics, or we'll be working in the garden. The other thing, of course, I just talked about a lot was journaling. That's number 5. And number 6 is I'll have a plan for my biggest struggles. And my biggest struggles that I always have in staying on track is going on trips, parties, or dinners and lunch meetings. So sometimes it's easier to pick out healthy food, but other times I really, really struggle when I don't have time, or I don't want to look weird in front of people bringing my own food in, to a party or, to a meal that other people are participating in. It just, it's really, really hard. I also have an issue with being rude. If somebody fixes food for me, I was taught when I was young, it's really rude not to eat what's put in front of you. So that's something I've really got to work on how to, trips I think are the biggest thing that have tripped me up. So I'm going to really try hard on working on ways to take care of myself during trips. Another area that we can work on that helps us in our moving towards a healthier lifestyle is our mental health. So I typically beat myself up a lot when I fail. And if I fall, I need to be ready to restart immediately. And that's one of the areas that research has looked at, that when people see themselves doing some things that aren't quite as healthy, they get right on top of it and they go back to their healthy way a lot more quickly. Drinking more water, 32 to 64 ounces a day. Pretty much as my body tells me. I'm not going to sit here and drink, half a gallon to a gallon or based on my weight and all that. But I definitely want to have a minimum and then a maximum of what I drink. And so keeping track of that may be helpful. I did a program called Wild Fit last year, and it helped me lose about 12 pounds. So I'm thinking about going back and doing the daily videos it's really only once or twice a week that you have to watch them. So I'm thinking about going back and following the Wild Fit program. It was very expensive, so I don't recommend it for everybody, but it was something I wanted to try to see if it worked. So I'll probably be talking a little bit more about Wild Fit as we go along. And number 10 is get people to follow my progress. My kids, girls at the office, and a neighborhood friend who she and I like to text each other and say how we're doing. So those are things, if I can do regularly, that'll help just keep me accountable. And a lot of people, that really helps them if they're accountable to somebody. And if I'm not mistaken, that was one of the research. There were 4 factors under research that kept people on track for months to years, and helped them keep weight off, especially those who lost like 100 pounds or more. So The other things, number 11 I have is extras in research, insulin, studying insulin resistance with Dr. Peter Attia. Knowledge always helps me, and so I want to do some of that, and I want to do some teaching here about that. And then there's a button I can wear. Now, these aren't exactly inexpensive. They're about $60 a piece, $120 a month, if you were to wear one all the time. You can wear this button. It's called a Libre, Freestyle Libre, for 14 days. And that really helps keep me motivated. You put it right here on the back of your arm, and you run a meter by it to see what your blood sugar's doing. And it constantly is checking your blood sugar, so you get a graph of what your blood sugars are doing. And I know I'm still probably somewhat insulin resistant, so I really like to watch that. And I'll be telling a little story about what the Libre did to me, or what I saw in it at Christmas time in relation to corn. So I will work on putting that on. I want to see what exercise does to my blood sugars on a regular basis. So that's something I can use. And finally, one thing that was recommended in Wild Fit and other programs was to take a before and after picture. So, and before and after videos. So that's something you guys will be able to follow through my own videos. You may be able to see me get thinner, or you may be able to see me hopefully get healthier. And I'll be able to talk about it as well as far as how I feel. So these are definitely some motivating factors, and I will write these down in a blog post so that you can read them and review them here for the future, or things you might be able to relate to and things that might help you. You don't have to use them all, and there may be some more that I can think of that I'll write down later. So if there's anything that has really helped you, please don't hesitate to send us messages or emails